Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and today we are going to study about factors influencing attention. So in figure you see a lady who is doing a very difficult mathematical problem, still a phone comes and she has to receive that call. So how our attention is influenced, we are going to discuss about it. Let's start. Attention is the tug of war between bottom-up processing, that means the world grabbing your focus, and top-down processing, you choosing where to look. So, attention is a tug of war between bottom-up processing, that means the world grabbing your focus, and top-down processing, you choosing where to look. There are so many factors influencing attention. So, what are the internal factors and external factors? Let us discuss them detailedly. So, internal factors, motivation, arousal, mood, fatigue, personality, interest, cognitive abilities, traits, age, and external factors, they are stimulus, environmental condition, concurrent tasks, social surroundings, distraction, time constraints, practice, and expertise. Internal factors affecting attention. Usually it is linked between our biology and our thinking patterns. So, number one, as we discussed about internal factors, we are talking about motivation, arousal, and mood. So, why they are internal state? Because they are changing from our and our motivation cannot be same all the time. Our arousal cannot be same all the time, and our mood also swings, right? So motivation, this is the gasoline for the attention. High motivation allows for top-down processing because where our goals override environmental distraction. If we are intrinsically interested in a book, we want to read it in a noisy cafe. We are able to read in a noisy cafe, but if we are not interested, if we are not motivated, even a single whisper may distract us. So, next one is arousal. Arousal. So, it follows hierarchies Dodson law. That means when there is low arousal, when we are sleepy, bored, our brain does not tag information as important. When it is high arousal, we are anxious and panicked. Our attention becomes scattered or locked on a thread, making complex thinking difficult. And next one is mood. Mood. Positive mood broaden our attentional scope. We are more attentive that time, allowing for more creative connection. But when we have negative mood, we are sad, we are feeling anxiety, then it narrow down our focus, often pulling it inward to our personal worries rather than the tasks at hand. So to do any kind of tasks, we need our balanced internal states. There must be balanced motivation, arousal, or even a mood. Next is biological and physical constraints, that is fatigue and age. These factors related to the physical hardware of the brain. While I am talking about the fatigue, if you see the previous figure, this girl is very focused, very motivated to the her assigned work. But what happens? She is feeling fatigued. That means she is feeling tired after a certain time. So, sleep deprivation or long hours of cognitive work deplete glucose and neurotransmitters in the prefrontal cortex. If you don't know what is neurotransmitter, you can look the video in this channel. I have already uploaded video on this topic. You can know more about the neurotransmitter. So, sleep deprivation or long hours of cognitive work deplete glucose and neurotransmitters in the prefrontal cortex. So this leads to attentional blinks or microsleeps where brain simply stops processing external stimuli for a fraction of a second. Next is age. Attention follows a U-shape. When we are children, our prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, so we are not able to concentrate. We are mostly distracted. It's very hard for us to concentrate on certain things. And when we are older adults, though we can have a certain sustained attention, we may struggle with divided attention or filtering out the noise. Next is individual differences, that is, our personality, traits, our interest. So, personality. Our conscientiousness is highly correlated with the ability to maintain long-term focus on goals. Are we conscious or not about our goal, or are we just unconsciously working on our goals? So it matters. And next is if we have high neuroticism, then there can be attentional bias because we are attracted toward negative stimuli and we often perceive threats. Next one is interest. This is known as selective attention also. Our brain are biologically hardwired to prioritize silent information. If we love cars, our brain will automatically filter in a rear car driving by even if we are not looking for it. Next is our trait. So some naturally have higher attentional capacity. They can hold more items in their working memory and switch between tasks within less switching costs. The mental lag when moving from task A to B. I think you have also made two certain kind of person who are like highly energetic, highly attentive. They are doing task A, then again they are doing task B equally with similar interest or similar attention. Next is cognitive infrastructure, our abilities. So this refers to the raw processing power that is our working memory. Think it as the random access memory like of a computer. It's in our brain. The more working memory we have, the more information we can load and we can manipulate at once without losing focus. And our processing speed, if our brain processes visual or auditory signals slowly, we can become overwhelmed by the fast-paced information like a lecture, causing our attention to drop because it can't keep up. So, while looking this channel or this slide presentation, maybe many of you have dropped the attention because maybe the processing speed is low. So I think we also need to work on our working memory and processing speed. Next is external factors affecting attention. So here it is about surroundings and the people. So stimulus and environmental factors. Number one. So here we study about stimulus features and environmental condition. So there are bottom of drivers of attention, things in the world that grab our focus, whether we want them or not. So when we are going outside for shopping and if we want to buy a sweater, we see different kinds of pants, different types of jacket, and it is grabbing our focus, right? So there are certain role of stimulus feature. Our brains are biologically hardwired to notice novelty, that means something new, and intensity, light, noise, bright lights. So the example can be a red notification badge on a focus on a phone uses contrast and silence to pull our eyes away from our current task. Suppose if I am reading and if I see certain bars in my phone, then definitely I will look there. So stimulus is grabbing our attention. Next is environmental condition. So physical discomfort acts as a constant drain on our attention. If a room is very hot or too noisy, our brain must use energy to suppress those sensations, leaving less bandwidth for our actual work. Next factor that influence our attention is social and situational content. So attention not just solo cognitive process. It is not just a solo cognitive process. It is deeply influenced by people around us. So our social surrounding, it is also said as audience effect. It can either improve our performance on a simple task or cause choking on complex ones. Feeling socially excluded can be particularly distracting as the brain threats social pain, similarly to physical pain, demanding immediate attentional resources to process the threat. So, in a school environment, if a child has a good group, they can socially work, but if they feel excluded, it gives them social pain which is similar to the physical pain. So that's why social surrounding really matters in as the factor for influencing the attention. Next is time constraint. When we are under the clock, our attention shifts from education to monitoring our phone. That means we forget to do the tasks or we are less interested in doing the tasks, but we are more interested in checking our mobile or watch to know the time. So the split often leads to tunnel vision where we might miss critical details because of we rushing. So you can look this man is frequently looking at the watch because he is more into the time constraint. Next is cognitive load and tax demand. The section deals how we manage our internal budget of mental energy. So there are so many things to do, but how do we manage our energy? How we are able to budget the mental energy? So concurrent task, multitasking research suggests that human brain does not truly multitask. It task switches rapidly. Each switch incurs a switching cost, reducing overall efficiency and increasing the likelihood of errors. If you are doing multitask, what happens is if you are cooking food and then you are going back to your desk to do the assignment, you might forget that you are cooking food. Yes, it might burn out. That's why multitasking almost reduces overall efficiency. And next one is distraction. These are the noise in the system. The more distractors present, the more effort the brain must expend on inhibitory control, the process of actively ignoring what is not relevant. So here you can see lots of people, right? So they might have different types to do, but they are in a hall for a certain program. So I think very less people are being attentive to that program because some might be watching their phones, some might be calling their friends. So there is distraction overall. Next one is the role of experience, the practice and expertise. So as I was talking about the external factors of attention, this factor explain why a task that feel exhausting to a beginner feels effortless to a pro. So for beginner, it is very hard, but for pro who is very professional, for them it is effortless. Why? Because of the practice. So when we are learning to drive, we have to consciously think about the pedals, mirror, steering. With practice, this becomes automatic, freeing up our attention to focus on the navigation or conversation. So next is expertise. This is automated schemas. So experts have mental shortcuts or schemas. Example, a grandmaster chess player doesn't look at every piece. They recognize patterns. This allows them to process complex information with a fraction of mental effort or novice would require. So if you see the young people who is playing chess over there, maybe they are looking at the every piece. But this grandmaster, he is not just looking at every piece. He is recognizing the patterns that helps him to win. Thank you so much for watching this video. So these are the references that you can go to understand more about the factors influencing attention. There is so much science behind it, not just only the topic. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.